This video is on factoring trinomials using the grouping method. Example 1. Factor 3p squared minus 2p minus 5. The first step is to complete the diamond. When completing the diamond, you first need to multiply a times c to give you negative 15. That goes where you're going to multiply to find the product. B goes to where you're going to add. Since my product is negative, I'm going to have one negative number and one positive number. My factors of 15 are either 1 and 15 or 3 and 5. Since one of these has to be negative, I know that my factors are going to be 3 and negative 5. Once I complete the diamond, I'm now going to put my factors, negative 5p and positive 3p, splitting my middle term. Then I'm just going to bring down my 3p squared and my negative 5. So now I'm going to factor by grouping. What that means is I'm going to group my first two and my last two, keeping a plus sign in the middle. Now I'm going to look and see what my first group has in common. My first group only has a p in common. So I'm going to take out a p, leaving me with 3p minus 5. Looking at my second group, there's nothing in common. It's 3p minus 5. So if there's nothing in common, you're going to take out a 1, because 1 times anything is itself. So I'm going to have 1 times 3p minus 5. When you do this, what's in parentheses should be the same. So looking at this, we have 3p minus 5, and my second part, I have 3p minus 5. That's what you want to happen. So what you end up doing is you take the p plus 1, which is outside of parentheses, and write it as a factor. And then the 3p minus 5 is another factor. And that would be your answer. Here's what I would write as steps. You're going to multiply a times c, then complete the diamond. Once the diamond is completed, you're going to write the expression into 4 parts. You're going to group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms, keeping a plus sign in the middle. Then you're going to determine what is alike in each group and take that out to the front of each section. Then you're going to write down your factors. Let's try another one. Example 2, 5x squared minus 18x plus 9. So our first step is to draw a diamond. I multiply a times c, so 5 times 9 is 45. And I'm going to add to negative 18. Since this is positive, but my addition problem is negative, I'm going to have 2 negative numbers. My factors of 45 are 1 and 45, 3 and 15, and 5 and 9. 3 and 15 would add up to 18, which make my factors. So I'm going to break my negative 18x into negative 3x minus 15x, bring down my positive 9, and bring down my 5x squared. Then we're going to group these. Looking at this, there was not a plus sign here, it was a negative sign, so I'm going to put a plus sign right there. So now I'm going to look and see what's alike. In my first grouping, I have 5x squared and negative 3x, which means they have an x in common. So I'm going to divide out an x, which leaves me with 5x minus 3. And then plus, looking at my second grouping, I have a negative 15x and a positive 9. these both have a 3 in common. So I'm going to take out a 3. That leaves me with negative 5x plus 3. Something just happened here. Looking at this, I have 5x minus 3, but then a negative 5x plus 3. These have to be the same in order for the grouping method to work. So looking at this, 5x minus 3, and this is negative 5x plus 3. I guess I can take out a negative, and let's see what that does. So I'm going to divide this by a negative 1, which means this is going to become a negative 3 here. So that leaves me with 5x minus 3 inside if I divide out a negative 1. And then now I write down my 5x minus 3 and my x. So now I'm going to write my factors. I have 5x minus 3 in the first and 5x minus 3 in the second. So that means that I have 5x minus 3 as one of the factors. And my other factor is x minus 3. So that would be my answer. Now it's your turn to try some by grouping. Number 1 is 6x squared minus 20x minus 16. And number 2 is 9x squared plus 12x plus 4.